Alright, today working on my 2010 Dodge Ram 4.7, and it's got 950,000 miles. What happened was I started noticing the temperature gauge, which usually sits in the middle. Just right below the middle. Start to get to the middle, and I think it was from there I had to do an oil change anyways. So pop open the hood. Let's see here, and anyways, pop open the hood. Went to do my oil change. What I noticed was down here, way down here. It's hard to see, but that fan shroud, there was like a little bit of fluid. So when I went and opened this, didn't have any fluid in it. And I checked, went ahead and checked this side. You can see the radiator on this side looks good. Went over here and voila, there you go. So looks like the radiator, it's cracked, kind of separated from the seams. It's small. I think with 200,000 miles, it's adequate. Well, since I'm here, I might as well. This is where we're gonna do radiator replacement and water pump. The fan clutch also, and the thermostat. It's down here. You can see all the way down there where the low hose is. Thermostat housing. So it used to be that these when I used to own a timing belt vehicle, you would have to change it at the first 100,000 miles and every 60,000 miles after that. So, alright, first thing we're gonna probably do is I'm gonna remove all this shrouding. Alright, the shroud cover is out. Exposes a lot. This is your condenser. See all that debris? You might want to clean it. Makes your AC cooler. Alright. Looks like this is the radiator here. Okay. There's a couple bolts here. There's one there. Unplug that. Electric fan. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this too. And there's one, there's another one, and it's the ones that holds the AC condenser together. It's right there. I think there's another one. Okay, all right. Oh yeah. At the same time, I'm gonna start opening up the valve to let the fluids out. All right, I'm letting it drain. So as I'm letting it drain, I'm trying to disconnect this shroud here after the fan. I don't want to, you want to disconnect, like I mentioned before, that cable right there. I think here what I'm going to try to do is remove this fan and try to access it from there. Should be I think once I'm able to do that, I can remove this cover off of it. So we'll see. Alright. It's able to get it out, and a little finicky. Right there's a transmission line right there. I'm pointing to it. I think we released the bolt on the opposite side of that line. Allowed it to wiggle. be able to get this out. So I think I can try to manipulate this out. Let's try it. Alright, try manipulating this. Not enough room. I'm gonna have to whack that. Give it an attempt to get that fan clutch out. So we'll see. Alright, so since I couldn't get that fan clutch out, I'm just gonna get this low radiator hose and just drain the rest of the radiator. That way it'll allow me to at least remove the radiator, and I can see what I can do to finagle my way out, get this thing out. So it's one of those special tools that you can grip onto the these are called expansion clamps. You can see it right there. Anyways, it clips right onto that clamp. You can use any type of pliers, whatever works for you. Alright, change of plans. What I did is went ahead and tried to remove the bolts that were holding the AC condenser lines, or the AC lines to the radiator, and make it easier on myself. I removed the front grill. It's 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, and the other one is right there. And then you just basically pull it out. That's it. Now that was the bolt I need to access. The other one was right here. I had already removed that one. So you can see, look at that little rock in there. So I'm gonna have to clean all this out. Try to find a way to minimize the dirt that's here. But since I'm already here, I meant to go ahead and get this guy out. I want to do a system flush, so I want different. I want the newer coolant to go here. All right, back at this again. Had to get the correct tool, but it should work now. All right, for those of you attempting this, you can use the air hammer, but that's one way. The other way is, that's what I did, is I wedged a crowbar in there. Use the tool to hook it on, and then, with that, push down on it, or use a little hammer and whack it. Okay, it's cleared. More space. Take the serpentine out. Make sure you know the pattern. Have a picture at least. So it goes like up over the AC, down into the water pump, alternator, power steering, crank, and then it wraps itself around the idler pulley and back into the tensioner. So, alright. Then for the radiator, unhook it from the condenser. Remember those bolts? There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And again, it hooks. Let me see here. Barely see it. Oh, you can see it. Right there, you can probably see a little bar. Looks like one of these. Hooks onto that, to the alternator. All right. Empty whatever you can, and remove the thermostat housing. That one's plastic. You can replace it with aluminum. The housing. Then also the thermostat that sits behind there. Always remember the orientation. There's a little hole in the thermostat. You want to center that up. What I'm going to do is remove the thermostat and put the hose back. I'm going to remove the belt too, but I'm going to try to flush the system. You can see there, right there. See those 2 hoses right there? Those are the ones that go to the heater core. So you can unclamp one of them, flush it through, and it'll come back to the thermostat. I'll show you what I mean by the hole. See that little indentation right there? That same indentation is where, see that hole is? Over at the very top? You notice how it's at an angle from the top bolt? Top bolt is pretty much, from my point of view, vertical. and that's oriented to the side, so if you think about it, this thing goes on there, matches up with that indentation, so you want to get it exactly like that. Okay. Alright, here's the old thermostat. See the hole right there? That's for air. So if you think about it, right, the top bolt was right about 12 o'clock. That's probably like 2 o'clock. This, that's an OEM, so there's a number right there too. You can replace it with that if you like. That's what I did. It comes with the gasket too. Also tells you the temperature. It says 91 degrees C. Oh, I just want to say I noticed this. OEM stamp, Motorrad. Wow. Looks like Motorrad bought them all over. Alright. System's just flushed. Remove the belt right now. Yeah, I already put on the new hose. I use the expansion clamps, so those are really good clamps. Just it's a pain to get them on. Normally I use a little bit of grease just to see if it can help it assist it slide in. Anyways, time to remove the belt. All right, belt's removed. Inspect it. See this? Yeah. Might as well change this too. Of course, this thing has what? 200,000 miles, so it's about time. All right, I'm gonna get to the water pump, but see all that right there? You gotta get that idler pulley out. Might as well blast all this, clean it out a little. That area around it. See that? So, all right, bolts removed. Just make sure you put them all where they should go. And once you remove that, transfer the bolts over so you know where they do go. All right. So, put the gasket on. Here's the weep hole. It was a hole from the original water pump. I took that little piece off. I think it allows it to breathe a little. Anyways, line it up, have everything set up so you can just pull and go from there. Got all the bolts in. I use Teflon tape for the 3 long bolts. I think you can use thread locker. Make sure you, if you do use thread locker, take a wire wheel and remove all the debris that's on the original thread. So, anyways, tighten it up and torque it down. So the torque's supposed to be 47 foot-pounds. So just gonna make sure I get all of it in first, and then I'm gonna torque it. All right, installing the new radiator. This is a Denso. Just remember to remove the those inserts right there. Okay. All right, seated in. All bolts go back. Okay. With the upper radiator hose in. I'm kind of doing it this way. So all these bolts go back. It slides right in there. Oh, can't see it. Well, it looks like a tab like this, but on the bottom. All right, thermostat. Okay, see that nipple? It has to go right here. Okay, so get it in secure. All right, lower thermostat housing torque to 112 foot-pounds. And then if you remove the reservoir, you can go ahead and put that back, reroute it. Alright, time to get the new fan clutch on. New bolts, probably put thread locker in that. Yeah. 15 to 20 foot-pounds tighten. Alright. Alright, I've decided before I put fan clutch back on, I'm going to put the belt back on. So it gives it a little tension on the water pump. Alright, belt back on. Just verify it's correct. So loops around the water pump, over the alternator, around the power steering, into the crank, over the idler pulley, into the tensioner, back into the AC. Alright, fan clutch in, torque 20 foot-pounds. I use the old screws because they're a little longer. I want the longer thread. I think at this point what I'm going to do is Get the radiator fan in, and then the fan shroud, and then finally the fan clutch. All right, so anyways, it's finally got that in. The best way was to let the fan shroud down with the fan clutch inside, and as it starts to get tighter squeeze, it allows you to seat that. So now it's tighten it. So my new water pump has a metal impeller. This is the old one. Look at that. See the cracks? Yeah, it's starting to separate. So pretty glad that I went ahead and changed this. So anyways, gonna tighten this up. All right, with the latter end where we're gonna introduce coolant back. So everybody has their own method. I use this evac system, and I also use that the large funnel that you see right there. So I use a combination. It's up to you. You do what you feel is good. All right. So this is where we're letting it run, let it burp. Let's see. See that? So then all the bubbles come out. So you usually want to rev it, run the heater too, so that it gets the antifreeze into the heater core, which is located deep inside there. All right.